Autopsy and secrets under surveillance. The door to the forbidden room. In the previous chapter, we followed the trail of the wreckage and the terrifying lie orchestrated by the government in the New Mexico deserts in the summer of 1947. But there was a secret greater and more devastating than the wreckage itself. The humanoid bodies quickly recovered from the secondary crash site. These entities were taken from Roswell, transported under military guard to Fort Worth, and then delivered to the darkest room of American medicine and science, an autopsy room. This was the stage for the most crucial and most frightening surgical operation in human history, the alien autopsy. Tonight, we will see what happened behind that locked door. We will examine the horror and ethical nightmare experienced by the doctors who first put a scalpel to a being of unknown anatomy, physiology, and mental capacity. Are you ready? Because inside this room, not only alien bodies but the very innocence of humanity would be dissected. Autopsy and secrets under surveillance. Forbidden anatomy, the helplessness of the surgeons. In a secret military base, bodies wrapped in thermal blankets were laid out on the autopsy table. Gathered around the table were the country's most skilled surgeons and pathologists. Yet, neither their diplomas nor their experience could have prepared them for this cosmic reality. The shock of the body, the appearance of the beings was already jarring. They were about 4.5 feet tall, with fragile and delicate bodies. Their skin was smooth, hairless, and a metallic gray-brown tone. One witness described the skin texture as oily hide. They lacked eyelids, the large, black eyes were open and stared soullessly at the ceiling. Furthermore, the surgeons struggled to find evidence of genitals or a digestive system in the lower parts of the body. It was as if these beings had transcended our known biological necessities, belonging to a different evolutionary tree. The initial shock came when the scalpels touched the entities' bodies. The skin was incredibly flexible and difficult to cut. It was as if they were wearing an advanced biological armor, rather than normal tissue. The dread of internal organs. When the abdominal cavity was opened, the nightmare began for the surgeons. The expected lungs, heart, or intestinal system were absent. Instead, they found a mass of dark, unidentifiable fluid-filled and gelatinous organs. The organ that performed the function of a heart was small, dense, and multi-chambered. The blood of these entities was not the red, hemoglobin-based blood we know. According to witness claims, their blood was a light green or dark yellowish fluid. This suggested the aliens breathed with another element besides oxygen. Perhaps, they didn't need to breathe at all. 2. The brain and telepathy, the reading of souls. The true secret lay within the entities' massive skulls. The skull bones were incredibly thin and lightweight. One witness described the bone texture as like light cardboard. It seemed like a structure specifically engineered to reduce weight. When the skull was opened, a normal brain structure was not encountered. What was seen was a dense, non-lobed, and incredibly complex tissue. This was a biological computer designed not just for thought, but also for communication, navigation, and energy control. The surveilled doctor, the claims made years later by a technician who attended the autopsy are startling. The eyes of the entities on the table were occasionally moving even as the autopsy proceeded. Furthermore, the doctors and technicians around the table claimed to feel instantaneous, foreign thoughts during the autopsy. These thoughts conveyed hatred, anger, and threat. It was as if the entities, even if dead, were emitting a final cry through their minds. Cosmic radiation, the bodies of the entities carried a kind of energy signature more intense and different than the radiation we know. Doctors theorized this energy might be related to the bending of space-time. This energy, through the entities' bodies, was spreading a contagious fear to the humans in the autopsy room. The aliens had not simply died in a crash. They had brought their secrets and their curse with them. 3. Military protocol, the quarantine of silence. As soon as the autopsy was completed, the scene abruptly shifted. Science gave way to military discipline and ruthless control. The room was instantly filled with only generals and high-ranking officials. Everyone knew that what they had seen was not just a state secret, but a humanity secret. The destruction of records, all autopsy reports, photographs, and notes were collected in one place. Allegedly, most of these documents were immediately burned or destroyed. The remaining ones were sent to the most secret archives, to be locked away forever. The vow of silence, every person who attended the autopsy was forced to swear an oath to remain silent, at the cost of their lives. This oath was not just a corporate commitment. It was psychological pressure exerted to erase the truth from their minds. Lives under surveillance. The lives of those who attended the autopsy were never the same. They were under constant surveillance. Their phones were tapped. Family members were harassed by mysterious calls. It was as if the government was controlling not just their silence, but their mental health too. Some witnesses claimed years later in startling confessions that lights moving in the sky were following them. Everyone who touched Roswell had become a permanent target of the unknown. 4. A technology race, Element 115 and Fate. Voiceover. The wreckage and autopsy results from Roswell whispered two terrifying truths to the U.S. government. First, we were not alone. Second, these entities were thousands of years ahead of us. With this knowledge, a frantic race began in the S-4 laboratories at Area 51. The goal was to decode the propulsion system of the alien craft. Analysis of the retrieved fragments showed the craft used an unknown element. This was Element 115. Gravity manipulation. This element was a power source that could warp gravity waves and manipulate the space-time continuum at a subatomic level. This technology meant not just flying, but jumping between time and dimensions. This was a prize even greater than the Cold War's nuclear superiority race. What about the ethics behind this race? There were none. Scientists were ordered to uncover this secret at any cost. And the price of this order included human subjects, unethical experiments, and the whispers echoing in the dark corridors beneath Area 51. The bodies collected from Roswell were not only studied. Allegedly, their genetic material was used in attempts to create hybrid beings, hybrids, between humanity and the alien species. The government aimed to become the god of the world by possessing this technology. But in doing so, they had turned humanity into a test subject. V. To be continued, The Great Betrayal. Voiceover, Roswell, the autopsy, the S-4 laboratories. All these pieces form the evidence of a great betrayal against humanity. They studied the bodies, they stole the technology, and most terrifyingly, they denied their very existence. But why? Was it just for power? Or did they receive a warning about why these entities crashed when they encountered those large, soulless eyes on the autopsy table? We are not done with Roswell. In the next chapter, we will descend to the deepest point of this secret, the alleged treaties the government made with alien races. What were the terms of these treaties? What did the aliens want from us? And are these entities, still among us today, working under whose command? Find the answers in our next episode, and continue this cosmic journey with us. The series will continue. Stay tuned for Chapter 3.